Hello, fam. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nefertari Attenborough, and I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Welcome to my podcast. My podcast here is called Current. Here on this channel, we'll be discussing current events, social media events, news feeds, news channels, everything that makes America great again. We're going to be focusing on. And here we got another MAGA moment that we're going to talk about. This story's been going around for a couple of days now, and I haven't had a chance to go into it because
That
I
breaking
want to
news
read
from
up
him.
more on actually what actually had happened. But this story is about Erin Stroutman, the woman nurse that was working in Pennsylvania, oh Virginia. I'm sorry, she was born in Pennsylvania, but she was working in Virginia, breaking babies' legs. Come on now. When you think about it, I like that you have to be a demon to even think about doing something like that. And here you breaking babies, little babies, newborn babies, small little babies, you breaking their legs, bones in their bodies, you doing it on purpose. You got to be demanded to do some foolishness like that. I'm so disgusted, I don't know what to do. But listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't break news, because I got to get into the details and find out what's really going on before I come and break the channel. I don't get paid for this. This is a new channel, and I got other channels, but I don't get paid for this. Whatever I do any video, I want to make sure I do the best I can. All my videos are done in 4K, so I spend a lot of time and I spend a lot of money to make sure my videos look good, and when I present them, they present them with quality. So that's one of the reasons why I don't break news when it first come out, because you don't always have the true story. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this, and I appreciate you guys stopping by. Now, when I get done with this live, I'm going to edit the real video, the other video, and at the end of that video, I'm going to have a quote from Muhammad Ali that I think you guys will appreciate. So let's go ahead and get into this.
That breaking news from Henrico County Court. That's where local nurses appearing after being arrested in an investigation into NICU babies suffering fractures to their bodies at a West End hospital. This is a story CBS 6 first broke this morning. Our Rob Cartwell is here now with the very latest. Rob?
Cheryl, an arraignment is currently underway for Erin Stroutman. She's charged with felony counts of malicious wounding and abuse of a child causing serious injury. Stroutman is a nurse at Henrico Doctors Hospital, working in the neonatal intensive care unit, commonly referred to as the NICU. Investigators say the crime she's accused of took place on November 10th. And you might remember that just before Christmas, Henrico Doctors announced that it was temporarily stopping admissions to the NICU after 3 babies were found to have unexplained fractures in late November and December. And hospital officials said that the circumstances of those recent fractures were similar to incidents involving 4 different infants in the NICU in the summer of 2023. Now, CBS 6 has confirmed that Stroutman was placed on paid administrative leave that year after the hospital conducted an internal investigation and found that she had contact with all of those babies during that time frame. We've reached out to ask when that leave ended and when she returned to work. Our Melissa Hippolyte is inside the courtroom right now for Stroutman's arraignment. She'll have live updates throughout the afternoon and the evening, and you can read more on this developing story on our website, WTVR.com.
Now, when you saw this video, you saw all these babies, right? You saw all those babies. They showed you all the white babies, right? But she didn't do that to white babies. She did this foolishness to black babies. Okay? And I see, that's why it's important to get this. That's why it's important, I'm telling you, to do the research. Now, they want you to believe, when you saw that first video, they want you to believe that she had this, she was doing this to white babies, right? But she wasn't. I'm gonna prove it to you right here. This came out, this is out of the Daily Mail. Virginia nightmare. Nurse Erin Stroutman accused of racism as she targeted black babies by fracturing their legs. My goodness. A twisted nurse accused of breaking the legs of 7 newborn babies in her care. In her care, she has been branded a racist who targeted black children, Daily Mail NICU.com can exclusively reveal Aaron Stroutman has been charged with malicious wounding and felony child abuse over the incident at Henrico Doctors Hospital in Richmond, Virginia. The 26-year-old has been accused of intentionally injuring only black babies by staff in the hospital. Let me read that over. The 26-year-old has been accused of intentionally injuring only black babies by staff in the hospital, with sources saying that she switched her focus when she turned to the hospital in late 2024. So she returned to the hospital in late 2024 because she got suspended for I guess for this. They don't say so. It's alleged. But anyway, it's true that she was off work for a whole year. Not only was she off work for a year, but she also got paid. So she's been doing this for quite some time. She's been doing this for quite some time and getting paid for it. Okay? Now I'm gonna tell you how you know that the baby, those babies, now they might, you just saw that video, and that video was showing you how the babies were white. That's what they showed, and that's part of the problem already. Is that the system will always protect them, no matter how heinous of the event that they did, they will always be protected. And if you read the articles of who she is and what she is, they don't want to tell you how many babies it was. They won't tell you actually what she did, and they won't reveal much. When I got this article, you got to dig, dig, and dig, and dig. And so when I went onto the Google search, they don't know how to give you much information. But I'm going to tell you, if it was me or someone who looked like me, this will be all over the news. You'll find everything about me, my parents, my brothers and sisters. My dad just got out of jail after spending 40 years there, and that's the reason why I did this, or that's the reason why I did that. And it will always be an excuse, but they'll do a background check. And they'll do and they reveal our background, which I think is a violation of the HIPAA law for them to reveal stuff about people they might be true. And they don't even say allegedly. They just make an assumption that it's already true. But anyway, but I found this article. And just so you know, when they want to talk about those babies being white, this is how you know it's true that those babies were black. So one told DailyMail.com the majority of the babies were black babies. When she came back after being suspended for that year with pay, they noticed the pattern. She tried to throw them off by targeting a white baby and I guess a white baby, girl baby. She tried to throw them off, so she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing the whole time, but when she realized, well, she had a whole year off with pay. This girl had a whole year off with pay. Y'all can read the article right there if you want to. And I'm gonna leave this whole article in the comments section. She was off for a whole year with pay. And then she came back, and when they found out they was on to her, which I don't know what she was thinking when she was off, but she knew what she did. But when she was off, she was probably thinking, having her parents thinking she was off because there was an investigation, but she didn't tell them it was them. She didn't tell them it was her. You know, she's a deceiver. She's a liar and manipulator, and she's a demon. She's a demon. And she's going to come back and break white baby's leg, but they won't tell you who it was. You know? They're not going to tell you who that was. If it's really true, it's all alleged, but this is just what I'm reading. So when they want to show them white babies, she didn't do it to them. But if you don't know better and you don't read, that's all they showed you was little white babies. So that's how you know it was black. It's right here in the article. I'm gonna show you one more video of the brother. This is the brother. Oh man, it's so sad. It's so sad that us as black people here in America, I don't care what, we always go through. We never get a chance. And I think black people need to heal. Because every time this racism is so bad, we never get a chance to heal. Never. Let me go ahead and restart this from the beginning. I've been trying to do this video for hours. I haven't made it yet.
Then whatever that was done in the dark comes to the light, and sometimes you don't necessarily want to know what was done.
Look how beautiful
Dominique
that baby
Hackey, the
is.
father of one of the Henrico doctor's NICU babies, found to have broken bones in 2023, concerned that it has taken so long for justice.
I remember her being in the room. She was friendly, she answered questions, but she didn't stay and talk like the other NICU nurses did. She wasn't family like the other NICU nurses were.
He's describing 26-year-old Erin Strotman, the nurse now in jail, charged with felony child neglect and felony malicious wounding, related to a different baby in 2024. Strotman was put on paid administrative leave by the hospital for a year after the 2023 cases of NICU abuse came to light, and then was allowed to return in late 2024. Hackey saying the hospital should be held accountable as well.
Because that shouldn't have happened. If they were suspicious of some person enough to let him go, they shouldn't have brought him back. So that's on them. They failed. Simple.
HCA, the network that oversees Henrico Doctors Hospital, issuing this statement, saying in part it is shocked and saddened by this development in the investigation and that the hospital is focused on continuing to care for its patients. Strotman was just fired from her job on Thursday, Henrico police arresting her that night. Henrico's Commonwealth's attorney Shannon Taylor says the investigation is not over and more charges could come as detectives continue to review NICU video footage.
We will continue to work on building cases if there is evidence present to build other cases to find if there's additional criminal culpability.
Now you see, here's an attorney. Now they're getting paid to do a good job, but they don't even. If they don't have to charge her, they not. If they don't have to charge her, they won't. Man, I'm gonna tell you right, and this is the reason why I think this is the reason why I know they continue to get away with doing those evil demonic stuff because they got support, they got someone to protect them no matter what they do. Especially when it comes down to us. Now, if she did that to somebody, somebody looked like them, this case would be a whole different case. But because it's someone looked like us, we got to go through all this BS, and this is the reason why we never heal. This is the reason why we never get a chance to heal. And we do need therapy. I think so. I think we need therapy. I think we all do. Because at the end of the day, our ancestors and the torment that they suffered has came down from generation to generation. And we never get a chance to heal. Because there's always something else happening. Always something different happening to us.
Families of some of the young victims from both 2023 and 2024 were present for Strotman's arraignment, seen leaving the courtroom in tears, some hugging each other for comfort.
That's so sad. I mean, I hate that. And here is the girl right here. This is her. And so I wanted to say now they're gonna show a picture. Now this is her picture. But they blocked her out. They blocked her friends and stuff out. You can see her in the back. And let me let y'all read some of this. Hold on, let me go down. Now this her family. This is her. This is her family. They were so proud of her. Everybody blocking their eyes too. They proud of her. This is when she was actually graduating from nursing school. But there was a part up here that I wanted to read. Yeah, so this is where she did the. Okay, so here it is right here. They said she wasn't the strongest in the class. She was literally one of the slowest. People are saying she's a white supremacist, but that's a bit of a stretch. I definitely feel like she was racist. She was deeply Southern rooted, and I was surprised at what she did. But I'm not surprised that it was her. If anyone was to do something crazy, she would have been at the top of the list. The hospital announced on Christmas Eve last year that it would not be admitting any additional babies last year, so I guess it's 2024, to the NICU at the time after 3 babies were found with their fractures in late November in December. Look at her, she's sitting right there by herself, with nobody around her. Nobody. They probably knew what kind of person she was. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel bad because people teach their kids to hate, and I know we look at her like she's a demon, and it's demonic to do the heinous stuff that she did. It's demonic. But she was taught that when she was a baby. She was taught that when she was small that she's greater and better than everybody else. And she went to school just like you got some officers that go to the police academy so they can abuse and kill black people and get away with it, and they do. And here she went to medical school just so she could torment. That's all she's been doing since she's been there is tormenting black children allegedly, and they rewarded her a whole year vacation with pay. With pay. I'm gonna tell you what happened to me when I had my daughter. I had my daughter 28 years ago. I'm a close on this, and I know I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this because she's gonna hopefully the law will do what they hopefully she'll pay for what she did. If everybody pays for what they did, but hopefully the law will prevail and she'll get the help because you need help to do stuff like that. Hopefully she get help. Um, she needs to get help, so hopefully she get help while she's in prison. You know. But I do want to say that this I'm gonna tell you two stories, and this about my daughter. My daughter's in nursing school today, and my daughter's the number one student in the class. And I told my daughter when she was small that she's going to be a nurse because my daughter's real sweet. She's soft spoken and she's mild mannered, not like me, but she's better than me as far as she's better than me when it come down to attitude. She got it going on, and she's a nurse, and she's already a nurse, but she went back to do something else. But so she's getting ready to graduate next year. But anyway, she's a number one student in the class, and her teacher told her she think it would be a good idea if she was to quit for a while and just relax, and then they would because my daughter has a family, and so they thought if she quits for a while, she can come back, of course, and graduate. And so my daughter came and told me that they thinking that I should stop for a while because my daughter has a family. She has a family, and she has a family. She has two children, and she's doing real well. So they thought that it would be best if she stays out of class for a while and comes back the following year. So my daughter was like, "Well, Ma, I don't know if I really want to do that," and I told her, "Don't. You don't want to you don't want to do that because if you drop out, they may have a whole different criteria for you when you come back." And she said, "Ma, what do you mean?" I said, "Because what it takes for you to graduate is different for you than it will be for them. Because they'll let her, whoever else is in your class. Now, my daughter's the only black one in the school. In that class, she's in Iowa. She goes to school in Iowa. And she's the only one in that class that's black. And she's the highest scorer on everything. And she teaches people in the school, in that class, in that nurse's class she's in. Anyway, so they thought it would be good for her to come back next year. And this is her last. She only got 2 more semesters. So I was like, "No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that." And I said, They did they say that to anyone else?" She said, "No, she just said it to me." I said, "Because you're the highest scorer in the class. They don't want you to be there. They don't want you to be there. If they can get you to quit, then you won't continue to show off and show them that you know what you're doing." So of course she didn't quit. And so because I told my daughter the stories about our ancestors. Some of us, many of you guys have ancestors who been doctors and nurses and went to school and got out of college and couldn't get a job, especially back in the 30s and the 20s where my grandmother was born. And the times before that, they couldn't even get a job. And then when they created Black Wall Street, they burned it down and killed a whole bunch of people. So they don't mind taking your money. They don't mind taking your money and making you feel like you're the best thing. And then when it's time to graduate, you can't get a job because guess what? You got to go to them to get to school, and you got to go to them to get a job when you graduate. So you don't have nothing else. So let me tell you the story. But my daughter's still in school. She's getting ready to graduate, and I'm proud of her. But I want to tell you what happened to my daughter when she was born. When my daughter was born, I nursed my daughter. And I'll never forget this. I nursed my daughter. It was her first time latching on. So for those who nurse their children, you know what latching on means. If you know, you know. So it was the first time my daughter tried to latch on and she couldn't. So that nurse took my baby and she squeezed my baby's head like a melon, and I damn near broke her arm. This was 28 years ago. People been doing stuff like this like for longer than I've been alive. I know, but this happened to my daughter 28 years ago, and I tried to break that lady's arm. I almost went to jail this first day. I only got one child, and I almost went to jail that same day. When she took my baby head, squeezed my baby head, all I saw was red, and I tried to break her arm. And of course, she still worked there. You know, I don't know if she still worked there now, but you know what? They didn't do nothing. If you don't do anything, they damn sure won't. And only time I find they do something is when it get real bad, or it's become a pattern. But when she was off for that whole year, they didn't have a problem paying her. They didn't have a problem paying her. They didn't care. And guess what? At the end of the day, she was worth it. They thought she was worth it to keep paying her for the foolishness that she did. They thought it was worth it. Look at her face. And look at her. She looks like she's sorry. She looked like a deer in the headlights, a demon who just got caught. I get angry over stuff like this. You hear me? Because I know what they try to do to my daughter. Like they didn't try to do it, they did it. And that's what they did when I was there. You're going to imagine what they're doing to children, as you can see, when you're not around. Yeah, and I just feel, and this is for black folks who think love is love. You know, I find that people don't know who their enemy is, and they don't really care because they paying them. Just like the people on YouTube and all these social media is talking about black women and black women and black women and black. That's all they got to talk about because they're getting paid to do it. And as long as money's on the table and there's something for somebody to get God, they don't care. Love will always be love. Love is love until something happens to you. And then there's a problem. But you didn't give a damn when it was somebody else. I'm sick of this, man. I really am. And I get emotional over this because I know what they did to my child. And for them to break them babies' legs just think about it. Oh my God, I can't think about it. Oh my God, I can't think about it. Can you imagine breaking somebody's leg and that baby hollering? I'm gone.